enough.
Yeah. I think when you lock in the Fredrin here, too, you're just matching for the most part, right? Once again, utility for utility. This, technically, you know, the fact that we have seen teams flex it, of course, I don't necessarily think that's going to happen here this time, especially since we have the Matilda, the Fermis locked in. You know, for the most part, though, with that, you're coming down to these objective fights and the takes, right? How do you want to play around that? And really, it leaves to question, what do we take for the gold lane? Because once we get through this second phase, there's probably going to be a focus at least on one of the gold lane options for AP Bren from Geek Fam, right? Maybe that's the Claude. Maybe they decide to go ahead and ban that out. So it forces, once again, that matchup against Bruno versus the Brody pick.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Banning out the Minotaur here, it's giving a signal to Geek Fam. It's like, how do I say this? AP Bren is asking Geek Fam to ban away the Claude. Because if Geek Fam doesn't ban away the Claude, then, you know, one of the heroes that can fight against him is out of the picture. So it looks like AP Bren is baiting. Because we know Coach Ducky. He's a brilliant guy. He won't show his hand too obviously, you know?
You know, here's one thing, though. The fact that they picked up that could kind of hint to the fact that
I agree.
maybe for EXP lane Flap Tuesday, they want to go something a bit more aggressive, and Geek Fam maybe calls that. Banning out the Dairoth here, banning out some pop.
Both teams are having more or less the same idea here. The EXP is going to be very influential in the series.
Yeah, this match alone. Okay, so they take out the Iksha. So this leaves the, you know,
Claude,
you could still go Claude, could go Brody. I guess at this point, Geek Fam's like, take what you want. You know, we got our Bruno, we're happy with it. Not only that, but we got the Lilia as well. So two heroes that we love to play into this, and just we'll leave it up to you, AP Bren.
Yeah, I think Jadera just feels confident. He's probably like, it's okay, give him the Claude. Like we're not stressed about it. Jadera feels confident against Super Marco right now if that's going to be his pick overall. AP Bren going to take their time. So Claude, I think Super Marco could still do well in the Claude, and especially now that they have the Faramis, they have something to kind of buy them some time through the mid-game to get Super Marco where he needs to be. They also have tons of movement, so if they need to go and protect the gold lane, they have those possibilities with the Matilda and the Faramis. Plenty of options, and that's exactly what they're going to lock in. Geek Fam need to respond with EXP, and there goes the Khalid again. A MVP. Beautiful answer to the Faramis.
I mean, MVP performance, why wouldn't you?
The hunt begins.
More or less the same. More or less the same.
And it works. It works against the Faramis.
And this time I would say the anti-synergy between the Ruby and the Akai is not really that bad. It's because...
Not like the Tigreal.
Exactly. So even if Ruby pulls someone in, it's not going to be as bad as Tigreal, I would say. Especially because I believe that the cooldown for Ruby might be a little bit lower. I could be wrong there, but if I'm not mistaken, I feel like Ruby's cooldown is much lower.
Also, the downside about the Tigreal is usually when you have the implosion, you go for the slide, right? And then try to knock him up as well. And that's where it messes things up a little bit. This is interesting, though.
Phoveus.
Phoveus going to be locked in here. So that is for the XP lane.
I'm not going to lie. I'm not exactly sure how that matchup is going to be.
I'm not super sold on it either. Like, I mean, yes, I guess against the Khalid once he hits level 4, there's some possibilities there. But here's the thing. And also it can target the Ruby. But the thing is, Ruby wants you to jump in on her. Ruby's like, all right, come on. Then I just click my sorry and my second skill, and boom, you're locked up in the midst of us all.
You know what this does really well, though?
What?
It answers the Jadera problem, the Kadera problem, right? You demonic force towards him, you put the pressure on him so that, because last time it was the Terizla, and when you jumped in with the penalty zone, then you couldn't catch him. You're left as a sitting duck. So, and maybe this time that's the answer here to deal with Jadera's movement.
Well, when we're talking about Geek Fam, we have the solution, we have the answer. Flap Teasy. Are you going to be the one, the problem for Kadera? Or will Kadera be having all of these free shots all over the game? Welcome to the third match in this Best of 5 series. Welcome to the Land of Dawn. Geek Fam equalized it. Which team is going to go and have the match point?
All right, so when I look at both teams and I'm thinking about any of the win cons and I see AP Bren, now that they've kind of finished off their draft with that Phoveus, the Phoveus isn't bad exactly, but when it will really come online is going to be in the late game. Same thing with Super Marco. So I think overall, trying to bide time, AP Bren, Geek Fam have this wonderful mid-game spike with Luke, Jadera, a boy, a great level 4 with Beloyski. I mean, just lots of possibilities. And in this laning phase, Luke is definitely going to dominate Flapteasy.
Again, I really want to see this matchup because, you know, it could be something that just because we haven't seen doesn't mean it's bad, right? Like maybe because Luke using that first skill is going to dash all the time, and then maybe at
once level 4 comes.
Yeah, once level 4, maybe Flapteasy can do something. It's just something that I'm not familiar with. In fact, I think in this M series we might see more Phoveus in the mid than the EXP.
Yeah, not typical to see him in the XP lane for now, but at least from what we've seen, and even looking at the emblems here, anything sticking out?
All the movement speed on the side of AP Bren. Even Phoveus has it because they know once mid-late game comes, he's going to need to move around. Also, he needs to be able to keep up with Khalid when Khalid tries to rotate into the mid side, when Khalid tries to go and help the team out.
Okay, they're going to grab Marky back here. Valoisky there to help him out. Doesn't have the level 4 yet, so just going to disengage as both teams get prepped and ready for this turtle in just a couple seconds.
That's kind of like a passive for this Khalid, where you don't have to waste one slot for that movement speed. So that's actually an interesting point. Khalid has basically 4.
Well, already a lot of just poke back and forth. Speaking of Khalid, Luke's got the level 4 now, so he's going to join this front line here for Geek. Marky has to get a position as well for this if they want to contest it, but it's going to be driven back with the demonic force from Flap. That's exactly what they want to do here. Luke, not sure if he wants to take a chance at all on this. It would be better if they just give up this first turtle to AP Bren. It's exactly what happens as Flapteasy walks away, secures the objective.
Well, we saw the usefulness of Flapteasy on this Phoveus. Okay, I'm sorry.
How dare you?
There's the punishment.
It's like, it's our job. I'm sorry.
Well, don't think there's going to be any answer from AP Bren. So essentially, yeah, they get the objective, but first blood in the hands of Luke, who once again had that MVP performance on the same hero from the previous game.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you want with the Khalid. And now Marky already shoving into this orange buff, going to be able to take it, and that's going to be taking so much away from the hands of Flapteasy.
Yep, Circle Eagle going to be used. Focus now on the top side. We'll see if AP Bren responds to this. Once again, Super Marco dealing with everything right now. Heavy spin. Pops the Purify, though. We'll be able to get out just fine because of that Purify.
I like the timing. The moment he has the Haas call, they all went for it.
Oh, Luke going to be in trouble this time. Tries to get away.
There it is.
Flapteasy gets the kill. So they answer back to Luke on the bottom side. Now back to the top. Ogun and Super Marco just being forced out of this lane. A lot of gold, a lot of pressure here going to the hands of Geek Fam. Up to Kadera as he works on that turret.
Yeah, it's very nice as well that Kadera does not try to take down the turret as fast as he can because he wants those minions to die. Like, winning isn't enough. You want your opposing laner to lose. I like that kind of mentality. It's not enough for me to win.
Yep.
I want to see you lose.
And those little movements have already given him a 600 gold lead. Putting him, oh boy, in trouble here.
I already used that black shoes. Valoisky now a little bit late. Should be able to slide on through, but is going to be stopped as Flapteasy gets the kill there. Now AP Bren, their sights on this purple buff, trying to make it hard for him to get. Marky, though, still going to be battling out. Appraiser's Wrath going to come down. Heavy spin going to be used. He takes a couple shots from Kadera, goes under the turret. Marky quite low. Has to use the Nether Realm. Still going to be battling out. Luke now focusing on Flapteasy, forcing him back as both teams battle it out until the turtle comes up. As we take a... What is that called again? A fake question?
Okay, you know what? Ultimatum.
Ultimatum's not it either.
No, it's not it. All right, okay. Someone try to help me out. I'm sorry. It's not it.
Someone type whatever LaFell's trying to think of as they battle it out for the turtle here. It looks like it's just going to be AP Bren, though, once again, as they secure the second turtle of the game here, uncontested for the most part.
Geek Fam not still ahead, though, so they have the opportunity to give up that turtle. Yes, this puts AP Bren at a nice tied spot, but we definitely can't count Geek Fam out just because of a few objectives being lost. They've taken that top tower. Chidera's at the bottom laning, smashing down on that one, and that is their win con right now. Chidera just doing so well, hasn't taken a single death. Same thing with a boy, and those are two of their major damage dealers here.
Yeah, looking at the goal earn as well, Kadera definitely has a very clear, what to say clear, it's only like 200 advantage-ish, so I'll take that back. It's basically non-consequential here. Valoisky, Flapteasy is having a fun time dishing the damage against Valoisky, and not enough damage there.
I love how he continues to use that Appraiser's Wrath, right, with pretty much just on the go, forcing anything he can from Geek Fam, and that's kind of what you want to do, and maybe the reason why, you know, they went with this Fredrin pick. Aside from it being quite tanky. He's going to get zoned off, though, with a heavy spin. Slides on through, though, with finesse. Ogwin goes in with the circle eagle, but ultimately they just push Geek Fam back further away from the team here.
All right, here comes Flapteezy, though. We haven't really seen him get involved in a lot of these like full-on team fights yet. I'm excited to see how AP Bren's composition works with that kind of spice added to it.
Right now, Luke trying to protect, but 4 members of AP Bren here. Luke gets pulled.
Luke's going to get pulled. He's going to get dunked on. Goes in, flickers out. Not going to be enough as Few cleans up the kill there. They'll get the turret as well here on the bottom side. Continue to work on for AP Bren.
Something that we have to say about the draft coming in from AP Bren, the Claude can be left alone. The Claude can be left on an island, and he can push all day. The rest of AP Bren, they can move as a team. And it's going to be enough damage just because the Faramis is going to build into a Lightning Truncheon. And Geek Fam, if they want to clump up together, they're just going to give more damage to this Faramis.
We also have to point out that with Flapteezy moving... Ooh, wait a second.
Okay, Flapteezy going to be focused a little bit here. Doesn't have the Demonic Force just yet, so still Turtle going to be fought for. Kyle Teasy and Marky. The battle for it once again. Going now, committing to it. Heavy spin, going to find the lockdown. Turtle going to be secured by Kyle Teasy. Now they turn their sights on Marky. He's going to be just taken care of all by himself as Marky's taken out. Voloisky survived, but Luke and Kadera will be doing work across the map.
This is something Geek have been doing very well, though. Even if they don't expend everybody onto these objectives. They know that AP Bren wants to do that. They want to send all 5 members for the Turtle. But while they're doing that, they have Luke in the mid side, taking a tower. They have Chadera up to... Ooh.
So they actually want to fight this. Once again, Kyle Teasy so tanky here. Oakwood has to flicker around. Beloyski quite low as well. Still going to be going, though. Flapteezy now joining the fight. Few making his way there as well. And they keep them at bay. Geek Fam realizes it, and they back off.
You know what's good about our system now?
Yes.
We have 3 casters. We can see we can look at different parts of the map because that's what these teams are doing. You see one fight here, someone's pushing it somewhere else.
Yeah. Still,
like Super Marco in that bot lane.
Yeah, that's what he likes to do. Again, this is a signature pick for Super Marco, right? He's done work on this, and a lot of the times, if you just leave him alone, like LaFell was saying earlier, it scales out of hand, and then all of a sudden you're like, wow, that bleeds into it hurts.
This looks like a magic trick where you have the left hand showing beautiful colors, and then the right hand takes your watch.
And then there's a trick question.
No. It's like Geek Fam and AP Bren, they're doing the same thing. It's like, hey, we're fighting now, and then all of a sudden your turn is gone.
So is it both gold laners? Because it's Kadera and Luke doing the same thing.
Yeah, they are both trying to do it. But right now,
yeah,
Super Marco's doing a little better, I think.
Yeah, I would say for AP Bren, it's more on the gold laner. For Geek Fam, they got Luke as well as Kadera.
Yeah, because essentially both of them have 3 turrets down, right? So in a way, how long or who can pull it off longer, right? Until eventually it all collapses. Because that's kind of what's happening right now, even with that reference, you know? And this leads into these objectives now that the Lord is up.
All right, Lord is up.
Oh, Conceal going to play. Beloyski jumping in alongside Marky. Oh boy, and Luke going to be caught too. Marky has to get out of there. Ogwin going to whittle him down a little bit more now. Oh boy, trapped amongst it all. Get taken out by Few. And this is going to be the go signal for AP Bren to start up the Lord.
Well, I guess to answer your question, it looks like AP Bren is more willing to take those prolonged team fight because having the Faramis as well as the... even though we question this Phobia's pick, it has been doing quite well to deny a lot of engages coming in from Geek Fam.
It's been denying so much, and I was a little like, oh, why is he can only really zone away Beloyski or Luke, but even that is making a huge impact on these team fights. Beloyski not being able to get involved means Kyle Teasy can pretty much just do what he wants. It means Super Marco can roam freely around these team fights or do exactly whatever he wants as well. Now taking a look at some of the items, Super Marco has jumped from being stalemated to almost a 2K gold lead over Chadera right now. He's pretty much into working on his last item at this point.
Yeah, right now it looks like AP Bren can just push in. For Geek Fam, I feel like in order for them to win is trying to force a 5v5 fight and bait out some of the skills, especially Flap. But I don't know, so far the way Flap has been playing, even though he's getting caught, it doesn't look like he's anytime in trouble.
Well, is he going to get dragged back by the Stampede? Takes quite a bit of damage himself. They might just have to give up this tier 2 as AP Bren still looks for these plays Lord now going down the bottom side. They might be knocking on the base of Geek Fam here relatively soon. Shield still up though. She'll be able to make quick work of it as Geek Fam goes on the defense. Ogwin keeping them at bay as well. But ultimately nothing happening just yet.
All right, Geek Fam going to be able to defend this. And I think, yes, they're going to lose that mid-tier 2. They lose a lot here. The gold lead is starting to escape them a bit.
Oh, they're going to jump in. Flap Teasy goes in with a demonic force. But they're going to have to go out. But they're happy with the turret. So still on the play, AP Bren gets the first base turret of Geek Fam.
The conversation now is what Geek Fam has to do, because just to expand a little bit about what I was saying before is like try to trick AP Bren into thinking they're going for a 5v5, try to bait out a lot of those skills like the Nether Realm as well as the Demonic Force from Flap Teasy, but doesn't look like AP Bren is gonna take any kind of bait here.
I love the fact that Flap Teasy builds Clock of Destiny up front. Because we've been talking so much about how EXP laners need a little bit of damage, and that wasn't always common for a Phobia split. A lot of times you just kind of go into full defense mode, and the damage just unloads over time anyways, because that's just kind of how he works, right? But with that, he's able to really be a threat to some of these tankier heroes like Bloisky. He's just able to have that little bit extra, and that's going to scale along with him over time. And at this point, I feel like it's kind of all he needs.
I'm looking at everyone from AP Bren, and I'm trying to figure out if I'm Bloisky, who's a great target for me to pick off? I mean, sure, if you can get most of the members at the same time, maybe that's good, but if you pull in the Phobias, that will feel like a mistake. If you pull in the
Kyle Teasy?
Yeah, if you pull in Kyle Teasy, you feel like that's a mistake as well. If you pull in Few, that's
a mistake. Super Marco! Not even giving a chance to Jadera. Still now Luke gonna be trying to get back to base here. Demonic Force gonna be used and everything thrown at him. Super Marco just fully stacked, knew that it was his opportunity and takes out Kadera.
I'm wondering if maybe Marky should have used that heavy spin a little bit earlier. I feel like he was hanging on to it and maybe possibly, use it for a dire situation. But they do get out. Jadera goes down, though, and that's going to be a huge loss because Super Marco already had a big gold lead, and this is just going to make Jadera not be able to catch up with him even faster.
I mean, if this keeps on continuing, AP Bren will have match point because Geek Fam, again, I'm looking at the draft. They have enough damage. I just don't know who they should focus it on because I don't think that Super Marco is going to get caught anytime soon.
Yeah, it's so difficult to catch him, right? I mean, alongside the fact that they have Matilda to help with those escapes, and that's what we've been seeing here. So now, once again, AP Bren gets ready for this assault towards Geek Fam's base.
All right, Geek Fam, I mean, at this point, how do they defend this, right? They have some possibilities. They have Luke, who can make the big set. They have Bloisky, who can make the big set. But they have, like you mentioned, LaFell, they have to be careful who they pull in. A Boy, we haven't seen too much from Boy right now. And it should, I mean, theoretically be doing okay against Kyle Teasy, but I think with a gold lead like this, they just have too many defensive items, and it's going to take a little bit longer until Geek Fam can actually, slow them down at all.
Well, they're going to work on the base. Top turret going to be gone. Lord making its way down the bottom. Geek Fam has to respond to this. Kyle Teasy going to keep them at bay. Still, Bloisky trying to keep things clear.
Okay.
Flap Teasy, though, just gets taken out of the picture. Still, Kyle Teasy going to get dragged now, too. He could be in trouble as he has to flicker out. Oakwood and the rest of the team there. Marky has to heavy spin out. The battle in the jungle. Luke, though, goes in with a Raging Sandstorm. He has to go, but he can't heal up fast enough. As a body after body will fall for Geek Fam. And Marky, the last one to go. AP Bren wipes out Geek Fam as they make their way to the Crystal to take the series to a 2-1.
AP Bren right now, match point with this 2-1. AP Bren is buzzing.
They are definitely buzzing.